So you guys know that if you want to jump on the community session, on the community questions, your voice is going to be recorded, and maybe your voice is going to be produced on a next episode on live stage on a podcast. So be aware that if you don't want your voice to be recorded, you don't have to join the community session after we finish the live stage. Anyway, so I think that we are ready. Gonna start the event. Gonna let the people know that we are going live, and we are ready. Okay.
We good to go?
We are almost ready. Yeah.
We've still got people joining though.
Yeah, I mean,
at the same time.
Get the notification.
3 o'clock is 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3
Or,
o'clock
well,
is 3 o'clock.
20 UTC.
We've been talking for about 5 minutes. Plenty of time to get people in.
Exactly.
Facts.
And a lot of people will join. I think that D-Rips need to tweak your mic a bit. You're a bit low in my ears.
It's a bit low.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bit low. Not very.
Let's see if we can solve that.
Excellent.
And now.
Yeah. Perfect.
Not too loud. Not sing anyone.
Very good. Okay.
It's fantastic. And Rogue has attended.
That is correct.
Mr. Rogue.
How's it going, guys?
I can't get away from this, man. I mean, hey, what's up, man?
Voice.
Wow, I must say, that YouTube looks beautiful.
Is that what you came to say?
No, I'm actually, I'm taking a break. I have to take a break. You know, your mind has to take some time and refocus, and who better to do it with than my best friends and the community love.
Okay, let's invite Blip to the speaker side so he can be ready to speak. Okay, guys, I think that we are ready to make the introduction. Today we have a lot of news for you, not only the patch notes that residents have compiled and prepared for you to hear, but we have another lying tournament going around that the Lone Raptor will tell you about in a few minutes, or after the patch notes, that he's been working in the background. And it's going to be an exciting tournament that Back to Board is going to hold. So be ready. It's going to be a superb moment, and I think that it is well organized at the moment. But I can't reveal any more. I think that Lone Raptor will tell you about this. So before we start, we have always to welcome our new members and Patreons. Mr. Fighter, that he joins the rank of the Patreon. Richie Boy, 7 Rotten Days. We are very thank you for having you on the Patreon ranks, because you are the reason that we are pushing our limits and we are keep producing more content. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you, guys. So I think that I'm done. Raptor, you take the mic.
Yes, sir. All
and
right.
We are ready to go.
So, starting out February's update, we are getting Italian battleships in early access. The Tier 3 through 6 Italian battleships will be making their appearance, with them being available in both the regular and big crates, but the guarantee system is only active on the big crates, so keep that in mind. Julio Caesar will also be available in the big crates, but if you want the ship, just buy it from the store. It's a Tier 4 ship, it's not much. Tier 7, like others before, will be available next update in March, whenever the full line becomes available. And one of the big things that makes these Italian battleships stand out is the fact that they are the first ships to have semi armor piercing shells, but just for their secondary guns, not their main guns. And if I'm correct to assume that the Tier 6 and Tier 7 battleships will have rolling smoke with them, just like the Italian cruisers have. which can allow for some interesting plays to say the least.
Yes, they will.
Next up is Azure Lane, Wave 3, everybody's favorite collaboration for Warships.
Seconded.
They will be arriving on February 7th. This batch will include 6 commanders with their own unique voiceovers, 3 ships, and 3 skins, each for each commander. So there's going to be, let's see, Montpelier, or was it Montpelier?
Montpelier.
For the United States, that's a Cleveland class. We have Azuma, Shikaku, and Yukikaze, and Aurora. I think that's how you do it. I looked up the pronunciation. There was a rolling of the R in there.
Yeah.
But and then we have the Italian. Oh, I don't even know how to pronounce that. But all I know is that it's an accuracy commander for Italian battleships, and that's more than enough. The ships and skins are connected to the same characters. With the USA, the Montpelier will be getting a premium Cleveland class ship with its own unique skin. The Yukikaze will be getting its own variant. This will be slightly different than the original one, and Aurora will be getting its own ship. And the skins will be for Azuma, Shikaku, and Roma. And bringing on the topic of Roma, it will be available for 750,000 GXP starting on February 7th. Now, the Pride of Prussia campaign. This is going to be a very interesting campaign ship, to say the least. Looking forward to it. Brandenburg, being close to a Bismarck-class hull, but spots the 305mm main battery guns like Odin does, except that it's in the it's 4 turns instead of 3. And ooh, let's see, where did I put that? That's right.
Lost something?
So yeah, I lost something. The changes. So originally there was it was showed off in stream I think a few months ago, and everybody saw the stats on there, and people really weren't impressed by it. But there was an announcement made, I think by Blip himself, saying that Brandenburg has been buffed since they showed it in the live stream, thanks largely to Super Tester feedback, in which the secondary range was increased from 5 kilometers to 7.6 kilometers, which is huge, which means that it'll have the longest secondary range of all the of any ship in the game. The main battery reload has gone from 32 seconds down to 26.5, which is a huge thing for the ship. And its speed has been increased from 28 knots to 32.5 knots, which means that this is going to be one fast ship. So you really can't go wrong with a battleship or battle cruiser. I don't even know where to put it. I mean, it's just a sweet spot between the two, with its small guns but incredible speed, secondary range, and reload. But this campaign is going to take place over a 5-week period, having a total of 100 milestones, and I'm sure it's going to be a great ship to get your hands on. Next up is one of the most anticipated features this update, is cross-platform divisions and friends list. So it's finally happened. We've got our we finally got it. Crossplay.
Crossplay, guys. After 3 years, okay?
Yeah.
God.
3 years.
No, I
the
have no
community
excuse to
managers
avoid
as
you
well, 'cause I'm-
people. I mean, yay!
I'm adamant that the community managers have pushed all for this. Am I right in saying that, Blip?
Yeah, we want it. Well, everybody wanted it, and we wanted it much sooner than we got it. But this is the earliest we could have it and have it working, and so that's when we got it.
Yeah, so this
Fantastic
will
news.
be bringing in a friends list. I'm guessing under the social tab, in which you can add players from different consoles, and you'll be able to division up with them and communicate via division chat.
Yeah, it's like you go to looking for the division, and there's a new tab there, and you can search for a name. From what I can tell, you need to be pretty specific with how you spell the name to find people, but you can find.
Yeah, someone,
Okay, so did we say about 3 new maps for tier 6, 7, and legendary that they will be available? Sounds very neat to me because Wargaming is back on track with the community, and it is now the time that I can say that Wargaming is the wish factor. They made all the wishes that people had back in time, and they prepared it in one update. So for me, it is a pretty solid update, and I'm really, really looking forward to it because there are a lot of things to make. And for example, beside the Azure lane that comes back with 6 new commanders, 1 versus 1 duels in 5 seasons. Can you imagine that? Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5, Tier 6, Tier 7, 1 versus 1 duel. I mean, how that is gonna be possible, and how is it gonna be a mirrored class? It's gonna be a mixed class. I think Blip is here to solve some questions, but yeah, it's gonna be a mix. So it's gonna be a massive. There is no excuse about potato teams, and my teammates are failing me. Now you are only you and the opponent, so you don't have any excuses if you don't want to call you a potato. So it's going pretty competitive at the moment, and we're gonna see some classes.
Absolutely. Yeah, just as you said, 1v1, no carriers, 5 back-to-back seasons. I mean, it's gonna be a content-filled update to say the least.
I see an increase in Scharnhorst sales coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do you? Well, maybe we'll touch on that a bit later.
Yeah, I mean for ranked, man.
Well, yes, but there's another reason too.
Alright, we'll go through. We'll keep going.
So, Bureau is getting 2 new projects added. One of them being the Minotaur. So, if you didn't get Minotaur this update, it'll be a project next update, and if you did get Minotaur this update, upon completion you'll get 50 million credits instead, which will be pretty nice to line your pockets with.
It is huge.
But along with the Minotaur coming, there's going to be a first in the history of the Bureau, and that is a Tier 7 premium ship, but not just any Tier 7, a Tier 7 carrier, which is going to be Kaga. Needless to say, that's a very interesting choice, to say the least. Bringing that in, and I think it's the best way to do it because I mean, do you really want to have everybody have access to a ship right off the an aircraft carrier right off the bat? It's all you're gonna see is just Kagas, but having it this way, I think, is pretty good in my opinion.
I think personally it's a bold move, and it's giving the player base that ability to feel the power before they can actually get the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, just holds back the power, because I mean, last thing you want to see is just every game flooded with carriers. Isn't that right, Number?
No comment.
No comment. Okay.
But along with the bureaus that are coming in next update, there are going to be a few leaving, which are the Holiday and Dragon Fleet Bureau projects. So if you haven't started them yet, go and get them started, because at the start of next update, they'll be gone. You won't see them again.
Forever.
Yeah, forever. Well, until maybe next year, but that's gonna be a whole different deal anyway.
Probably.
So next up is Lunar New Year celebrations. There's going to be 2 theme skins coming for Lo Yang and a new Tier 5 Pan-Asian cruiser. How do you say it?
Huanghe.
Huanca.
Huanghe.
Yeah, whatever they said. Lo Yang
It's
is making
Huanghe.
its appearance once again, but this time it's just for a limited amount of time. Just the length of the update. No more, no
Lo
less.
Yang will be March 7, only until March 7th for the Lo Yang. Roma will stay, I think.
Yeah, Roma should be staying indefinitely. But Lo Yang will be gone by the end of the update.
Yeah, the reason for that is because we want people to have access to the skin and the ship itself. So, and we realize that it has been very recently since the Lo Yang campaign, so that's why it's only a limited time.
Okay, that were perfect. How about the state chat? Chat, can you ask something, or how does that patch note feel for the first review that we did now? Do you have any question? Do you have any spots that you want to take on before we start? I think Nariko has something to say about the patch notes. So let's go on, and we will cover the rest. So, Raptor?
Yep. To finish off the Lunar New Year, the yellow and blue dragon ships from last year will be making a return as well, being just an update long. So, if you feel like getting them, I mean, that's
If you
the
want to
time.
be spotted, make sure you get one.
Well, yeah, well,
They
if
are
you want to
bright.
look cool when you're spotted, then yeah.
Go out in style. dude.
Fast, leave a
Absolutely.
good-looking corpse.
You gotta show off
Jingle
the
says.
dragon as well as your broadside. But we got some new ships coming, as mentioned before. We had the Tier 5 Pan-Asian cruiser, which will have a smoke generator at the very least. I think it has access to multiple other consumables. Just haven't got it written down.
There's the third slot has multiple choice between a bunch of different consumables, and so you can swap out and kind of change how the ship plays.
And then
It's the second Aurora that's coming in this patch. We now have 4 Auroras in the game.
Indeed, yeah. Indeed.
more.
People
We got
want more.
Gorzia, I think that's how you say it.
Grizia.
It's here.
Ritzia, yeah.
It's, yeah.
Close enough. Tier 6 Italian heavy cruiser. No torpedoes, but it has access to the exhaust smoke generator. Now, if I'm correct, that smoke generator can be switched out for defensive anti-air, correct?
On Gorizia?
Yes.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you're correct.
Alright. Both ships will be available for purchase on their own or as part of the XXL bundles that we have seen in the past. Up next is Hearts and Gold. Special bonuses for the first win of the update on each ship will arrive in the form of hearts. Celebrate Valentine's Day with showing your affection to legends. The bonuses are going to be going from the start of the update until February 18th. And the following ship tiers will give you the following rewards. So tier 4 ships will give you 2, I'm just going to call them Italian camos. Tier 5 will give you 1,000 global XP. Tier 6 ships will give you 1 Italian battleship crate. Tier 7 ships will give you 1 promotion order, and legendary ships will give you 1 big winter crate. Additionally, the big news, the cost of all existing and upcoming premium Tier 6 ships will permanently be set to 12,500 doubloons instead of the 15,000 doubloons as it was for some select ships. So that's
Jazz?
a good change to see.
The kid?
Yeah, Kid,
Who wants the
Atlanta.
kid?
Kid, Boise, Charnhorst, basically all the really old premium ships. Because when the game first started, all the tier 6s were 15,000, and then later on we reduced and more or less standardized on 12.5.
Yeah, because it
So
was
now
Interesting
we're
on the
just-
back of what Number theorized there, suggesting that Scharnhorst may be a top pick shortly.
I mean,
Yep.
it's quite the interesting situation where Scharnhorst happens to get technically on a decreased. It gets a decreased price, almost as if it's on sale, and there's going to be a ranked season of 1v1s coming up soon. Interesting coincidence,
Hmm.
building the secondaries. You got torpedoes. You got fast-firing small guns.
And they're accurate, so they're good against everything.
Well, accurate for German battleships, I want to say.
2.0 Sigma.
Accurate in a 1v1.
Good.
That's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting to say the least. So balance changes, everybody's favorite thing. So Worcester is getting super buff.
Ultra buff.
Calling this the Worcester update, basically.
No.
Yeah.
That Worcester, it needed that buff, let's be honest.
Yeah, so its main battery reload time is being decreased from 6 seconds to 4.6. So that's almost a 2-second reduction in reload time. Its fire setting chances have increased by 2%. Its high explosive penetration has been increased from 25 millimeters to 30. The turning circle has been reduced from 750 meters to 740. Its radar reload time has been decreased from 180 seconds to 120. And its shell grouping was increased by 2.5%. So, huge changes for Worcester, to say the least. So it'll be interesting to see how it performs in the live server. On the other hand, Alaska, not so many buffs. It's actually it's getting more nerfed than buffed, which we could kind of expect. Its main battery shell dispersion has been decreased by a unknown amount. Its AP armor piercing, let's see, has been decreased by 0.5%. I'm not sure
Oh, wow.
what much that will do.
Oh wow. 10 meters, maybe? 10 or 10 millimeters?
That sounds like something that Thatch would know.
It reverts a buff that we gave it like 6 months ago. Part of it. It's a
Okay.
AP pin buff.
Gotcha. But its shell grouping was increased by 2.5, which, I mean, can't go wrong with grouping. Tier
That
6.
translates. Sorry. Yeah, that translates from 2.0 Sigma to 2.05.
Oh yeah.
Every little
So-
bit helps.
Yeah. So the
Uh,
overall bubble is larger, but you're gonna have, if you hit more.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're gonna hit in where you want a little bit more often.
Yeah.
For Germany, York is getting a buff. It's getting its main battery reload time decreased from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. And its maximum AP shell damage is being increased from 5,500 to 6,000. Not so good news for the Russians.
Darling Chad.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Stalingrad is getting nerfed. It's having its AP maximum shell damage decreased from 8,500 to 8,000, and its fire duration increased from 30 seconds to 45.
Mine were already at 45. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's wrong.
What did you do? What?
Yeah.
Stalingrad, more like Stalin bad. Right? Nah.
So
No, this
I
is
can
still...
see that Stalingrad meme
No.
uprising on Reddit at the moment.
I can't
so-
wait to see
Yeah.
it.
I mean, in the current situation, I mean, it's 2 million GXP, which is already a huge buy-in, and people are already skeptical of getting the ship. And I think, you know, with it getting nerfed now, it's even more of a reason not to go and spend that much on a ship.
But I
that's-
guess also to counter that, if it's getting nerfed, that must mean it was doing something right.
I mean, possibly. I don't know. I don't have the ship, so I don't know.
Just the bad thing from my point is that, I mean, I don't know how many people actually have that ship, but there isn't that many out there. Yes, now with the recent ability to get the rental ships, there was a lot of people playing it. And yes, it's a difficult ship to play. Because if you do play it wrong, you're going to get punished really hard. But if you do play it right, you can do marvelous things in it.
Definitely. It's one of those ships where like you can kind of control what you want to have happen. If you know what you're
It is kind of an area denial one-trick pony, though, in my opinion. I don't think it does too much more than that as it stands. So I was actually surprised by the nerf on it. That's me, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of looked at it as kind of like a very specialized ship, so...
I mean, I have to add that it is a very specialized ship, as you said, guys, but also don't forget that Stalingrad is the perfect ship to play in a division of 3 players. So imagine the current update that we are running at the moment with a lot of Minotaur players that keep hiding in smoke and, you know, spamming that AP cells. Just grab a division with 1 Stalingrad and pick a random ship, whatever you want, and you are exactly the guy that a Minotaur wants to avoid. So you are keep killing those people with Minotaur with the Stalingrad. So it can be used very wisely in a division. So for me, it is still a strong ship after the buff and the nerfs that it happened to the ship. So I would say it is a very good ship, but it has to be kept on division, not standalone ship. That's my opinion on the Stalingrad.
All right, we'll move on to the other changes. The maximum speed mark for exhaust smoke generator doesn't display higher than the full at cruise control. There has been an increased delay after an attack for all dive bombers by 1 second, and decreased the attack cooldown for dive bombers by 1 second, so players have more time to watch the results of a bombing, but in fact, cooldown isn't decreased. So I'm guessing you just get to watch whatever torpedoes being dropped longer, or bombs being dropped longer, but you won't be penalized by having to watch longer, correct?
Yeah, it's just an aesthetic change or a visual change.
And as we already brought up, 3 new maps. Islands of Ice, Shatter, and Warrior's Path are making their appearance. Really looking forward to seeing those. Get some new maps in rotation. Can't go wrong with that.
Do we
Islands of
have
Ice
the
looks
map?
Really interesting.
Say that again?
Which one of us?
Bro,
That's you,
I
Rex.
said Islands of Ice looks really interesting. I've seen many times Flambas playing it on PC, and
I
there's
like
a little nook
where they're
over
adding
to the
something.
right hand side where you can probably have some fun. I don't know how it's going to be compared in this because it's a bit more of a fast paced variant, but hold up play over there on PC at least is really good. So I'm looking forward to that one.
I mean, possibly ranked where it becomes more competitive and slow paced. That'll be a good spot to be at if you get that spawn. I mean, if they do bring in those maps for it. But other than that, that pretty much covers everything, patch notes wise.
Well, there's also there was for Islands of Ice. One of the things with that is it's got a Northern Lights preset. so it'll look aesthetically cool. And there were some domination scenarios added for Greece and Hotspot.
Yep. If I remember right, the Greece changes in particular are something to do with the borders being moved around.
I'm very interested to see that because I like Greece. I think it's a really cool map. So adding some variety to it should be fun.
Any new? Is there any basically news that we're going to get a little more epicenter? Because that's one map or one mode that you don't see very often.
Yeah, I can't say anything like that for certain, but I can say for sure that we've got some new people in the team that are very much more map focused, and so they want to do some new things with maps and mess around with stuff.
Yeah, Epicenter is something I definitely would like to see more of with some slight tweaks.
Blip, they can do anything they want as long as they don't create an ocean floor.
Or move the B spawn of shards closer than it already is now. You can always go back.
So the shards changes were part of this. We wanted to fix it. We recognized it didn't happen, so we reverted it. But I think they're probably going to keep looking at that map and see what they can do.
Yeah, it's just kind of difficult because if you do spawn in the middle, even if you go behind the island, you still open from shots from both ends.
Yeah.
If that battleship just pushed in, let's say 2 kilometers, he's got an angle on you and he's just going to hit you.
Yeah,
I was there.
If you're not in a destroyer, you're in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're in a cruiser like the Minotaur, because when I got it the first day, I was unlucky to get shards, and I was thinking, well, where can I go with this ship? So I put it behind the island, trying to shoot people from B cap to all the way to Alpha cap and Charlie cap, which is possible. But the moment that I got spotted because my smoke ran out, I was just a sitting duck. Even though I could run, you get hit so hard. I mean, you get punished in that ship. And it wasn't, for me, a very enjoyable game, even though I didn't do too bad. But you never know. That next shell that's coming you don't see is from your left or your blind side, and you're just gone.
Yeah, something I want to bring up, like whenever you guys are in a division and you happen to get shards, do you usually get B spawn? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Almost
Yes, every single time.
Because
Yep.
Blip, can you say anything to either confirm or deny the fact that if you're in a division, you will get spawned at B in shards whenever you get it?
As far as I know, the spawns are set up to be random. But of course, it does tend to put you with your teammates. But there's even amounts of spawns for each position on shards, so it should preference B. But that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
So you're saying I should change teammates?
No.
Yeah, because I think it's something that a lot of us have experienced, is that whenever you play in division, you just get B. I can't remember the last time I've gotten a different spawn, either being A or C. It's always B when playing in division. Now I'm sure it's different when playing solo, but I really don't do that much.
Touching back to what Rogue said, you are going to be able to change teammates because there's going to be a whole world of other people available to you now.
Yeah,
Jazz.
like you.
Me. You don't have to play with these guys anymore.
Yeah, I can.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm sorry for keeping you down, Rogue.
So something that I would like to ask about the crossplay function then. Let's say me and Rips join a division now. How's the party chat thing working? Is that, of course, that will still be in teams. You get the choice to go to full teams, or will you just be sticking to your division?
So, from what I understand, it works the same, which is not perfectly, because it doesn't work perfectly, frankly, but it works.
So were you saying there is some kinks that needs to be ironed out?
How it is right now is you pick between no chat at all, division, or team. It's just gonna be the same as that. So it's just same.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so
That's
just
good.
imagine just game chat.
It'll be basically the same, but probably less reliable than with just because it's cross-platform and there's a whole lot of funkiness involved.
Also, because it was asked, just like to confirm if you have like a friends list in there as well.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
there's basically, you're going to go to your looking to division screen, and there's going to be a new section where you can add friends and add cross-platform friends. And so I think it's called Legends Friends, and it's like an in-game friends list basically.
All right.
So nice. Well,
Something I notice in the sorry for interrupting. Something I notice inside the chat is Narocco is asking. I hope. Okay, it just flipped up too quick. Basically, what it comes down to is he doesn't want to search for his Xbox friend the whole time. Well, is there a function that you can save the name, or is it automatically saved once you've included it?
Yeah, you basically add people to your Legends friends list, and it'll save there.
So
Well, that's great news.
Yeah, so it's just like how you have your own friends list on your console itself. It's in the game friends list that you just go and add them there. So, I mean, it's a feature that a lot of people don't use much because most of the people that they know are already on their console's friends list and they just invite them from there. But in this case, you'll be using the social tab more often since you'll need to use it to actually get together with people on a different platform.
Yeah, it's
Just a
honestly.
quick one, Flip. I mean, you keep talking over each other.
We think alike, you and me. Go ahead.
Is it? I was going to ask Blip, and I'm not sure if you know this, but with regards to friends lists, on PlayStation, you can choose to be on an offline mode. I'm assuming that you would be able to do on Xbox. Do we know if we would show up online for the Xbox players, or would that still be an offline situation?
Are you meaning showing yourself offline in terms of on the PlayStation platform friends?
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
being
I
sneaky.
think if it works the same, I would believe it would work the same as it does now. If I'm on Xbox, if I set to offline and a friend has to invite me, I have to go back to being online. They can't even invite me through the in-game menu, so I'd assume it'd be the same like that.
Yeah, that's too much detail for me to answer. I don't know.
Sorry.
I would assume that it works the same way as it does currently, but no guarantees.
If only we had super testers.
Well, being the weep that I am, Prince, from the Azure Lane commanders, which one would you prefer?
Oh, for me personally?
When it comes down to the perks, for a specific ship, which one would you think is the strongest?
Oh, Littorio is probably going to be the strongest, especially with Roma and Julio Cesare. But Yukikaze also is going to be a really good meme.
Friesland.
With Friesland, but also basically the whole Azure Lane, the Yukikaze thing is going to be Gunboat Yukikaze.
Yes.
Interesting.
And so,
yes.
You're sailing around in your Yukikaze or your Azure Lane Yukikaze, which are different, and then somebody spots you. It's it's just a Japanese destroyer. I'll be fine, and then they die.
So it's fair to assume with AL Yukikaze being gunboat commander, the AL Yukikaze ship will be more gunboat.
Correct.
Yes.
I always considered Yukikaze a gunboat anyway, so this is just
it hits hard, so you could do it before, but now with a more dedicated build towards it, ooh.
Well, I mean, imagine Azure Lane Yukikaze on Akizuki.
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
Yep.
So-
And another
hey.
interesting pick if you like to really mess with carrier players. That if you combine Montpellier with Worcester, you can get upwards of 9 kilometers of AA range.
Jeez.
Wow.
Dylan, you can't be spouting that on this channel.
Yeah,
No,
you
let
can't be
him-
telling
let him.
Number to
A
go
lot
and
of
buy
young
it.
audience.
You have to really
sending the
build
wrong
for it.
message.
But you can get, I think you can get up to 8.9 kilometers.
Yeah, see,
But
now
the theme of this is
numbers.
everyone enjoy getting your cargo.
Yeah, number's gonna be $70 core now, since you brought that up.
I'm also
that was
guessing
already
the.
guaranteed, but right.
I'm also guessing the Azure Lane commanders would be available for purchase with the balloons as well. Like always.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
separately.
off the top of my head. So,
Oh.
but the containers work the same as the past Azure Lane collaborations. So if all else fails, you can get all the containers and you'll get all the commanders guaranteed.
I've got an off-topic question regarding Azure Lane, not necessarily in the game. Can an aircraft carrier such as Shikaku really play a flute?
Like, are you meaning in Azure Lane lore or in real life aircraft carriers or? I mean, most if not all ships have a horn. It's a steam horn, so it works in the same function as a flute.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean.
That's all. I have no more questions about the topic.
All I can say is playing Shikaku is. It's the most horrid time to play that ship now. It's so bad.
Like any Imperial Japanese Navy aircraft carrier. It just feels bottom tier.
What? Hosho is good at 5. And
Yeah. Why did I grind to tier 7? For a reason.
and
To play it.
Zuiho is solid. Or sorry, oh yeah, that's what I meant. Ryujo, yeah, the 5. Hosho is the 3. That's right. I've mixed those up every time. But now I mentioned this in the stage chat earlier, but I know, don't kill me. I prefer playing Shokaku compared to Lex personally, but
That's a hot take right here.
yeah,
It's a
I
very
know.
odd take. Considering the actual name for the ship wasn't Shikaku, it was Shikek W. I
Yeah,
don't believe that it was to be the best carrier. So elaborate. How is it better for you than Lexington?
I prefer the faster planes. I don't like the slow planes of Lex, so I prefer getting in and out of there quicker. The pre-dropping I feel is easier. You can actually save more planes when pre-dropping more easily without sacrificing as many of them.
The fires and
okay.
damage.
Yeah, fires
Are
and damage,
still-
and also the plane health. Like the
Hit.
American planes have like double the Japanese
Hit
plane
your torps, and you'll be fine.
Why do
You
I
just
get the
got to hit
idea?
them.
Why do I get the idea numbers doesn't really have the Lexington?
That was my first one I got.
It's a solid call.
Nah, I got Lex. It's the first one I got.
I have to say that I have a hot topic at the
Second
moment
most played
because
carrier.
before you finish, guy, I have a hot topic now. My DM is going crazy and people asking to say and purpose and analyze what ships people can use in the duels in 1 versus 1s. So
Correct.
they want for us to analyze the best ships in tier 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So
Alright, sure.
what are the picks? What
We all
guys
give
have
one
you?
for each tier. Do you think?
Yeah, we can each pick. Yeah, I
So
guess one.
if you going rank duel tier 3, what you gonna pick? A DD, a cruiser? I don't think so. Or a battleship. Most people
Three
say in tier
battleship for me.
3 it's battleship.
Tier
Mm,
I've actually got a, before we
Arkansas,
get into that,
yeah.
I've got a lineup question with that. Blip, if I choose a cruiser for 1-on-1, will I be pitched against a cruiser or a battleship or a destroyer? Is it specific to that specific type of ship or not?
No, you will be picked against somebody else in
Just
each
that.
ship.
Ah.
Of course, it's in the season, so it's any ship of that tier. But
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Interesting.
Great.
It's not
I like
mirrored,
that.
it's just match made. I would assume if
Yeah.
it's working like normal matchmaking, it would probably favor your class more. It usually
Mhm.
kind of does.
So
But
I'm gonna say tier
still
3.
a chance.
It's gonna be the Clemson sealing the
Clemson,
clubs. Yeah.
Clemson's gonna. Yeah, if you pick a DD that isn't Clemson, you're doing it wrong.
Nope. Nope.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you what can dominate. I will tell you what's going to dominate this.
Ivaki.
It's going to be
also. It's gonna
Cruisers.
cruisers.
Nah.
What?
Nah,
I
this
think
is-
yeah.
three.
Oh,
Tier
you're just going to
3.
step up with your emerald.
Remember-
or
Remember
Danite,
this:
sorry.
most cruisers have torpedoes. If you get matched against a battleship, what can you kill the battleship with?
Yeah, but they're
Maybe
usually
torpedoes.
shorter range, and you don't have a lot of them, and they don't hit particularly hard.
Unless it's like Danae.
Yeah, Danae has
Yeah.
some, but like
Also, a
Iwaki's
sensible
super good.
battleship player.
Or you can play Vaki with a destroyer captain. Remember?
You can.
Sensible
but-
battleship
Yeah,
player would
you
be
can.
avoiding that, though. They would already know what they're coming up against, and they would turn with the intention of fighting, I guess, so that you have to chase them, and then you have to open up your broadside, and then bang, you're done. Cruisers are not the thing. You've got to go DD or you got to go BB. Simple
Because
as
if you
that.
screw up in
I
a
think-
cruiser,
There's no
it's
back.
over.
Yeah, it's only back to port. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the higher tiers are going to be some interesting cruiser picks.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Tier 6,
high
like
tier,
Talon.
Talon is going to dominate.
Well,
easily
let's
at
go-
6.
Let's
But we'll
go
go.
for
We'll
tier
go
4.
in order.
Let's go with
Okay.
Work
the
up, work
order,
up.
Yeah.
So at
think
3
this-
Isles, so just in conclusion, in 3 I generally say battleships, most likely Nassau.
Yeah. Clemson for me. DD.
Yeah, I'd
As
say
for
Clemson.
DD, yeah.
That's how.
So,
Okay, let's
yeah,
go tier 4.
alright.
So tier 4, I have my Italian lady. that
Giulio.
it's been, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Giulio. Thank
yeah.
you. Giulio,
Really?
crispy, solid for a cruiser. Nikolai, and
Some people say kamikaze, but
Honestly, I like if you have it, Conti di Cavour.
Mhm.
yeah, he'll be solid.
You have
But-
the most guns,
It does have a lot of guns.
and you do
I
have
w-
the SAP secondaries. That'll
I
eat
would-
a destroyer alive.
yeah. I would say also Farragut is a good choice on tier 4 if you are a DD main, because
Everyone has missed the most obvious thing in the world: party bus. Okotnik.
Yeah, Okotnik. The
Oh,
Duncan
the Russian
War.
war sausage?
Yeah,
The
murder
YOLO
sausage.
slipper.
Yellow slipper. Oh, that's right.
The ca-
Russian war canoe is the word for it.
Yeah.
How many guns can you fit on a ship?
Yes.
ask the Russians.
Can you
They did a wonderful
see-
job.
Can you see that the Texas performing well on the tier 4? Because I'm not seeing at the moment. It is a solid ship, but if there is a Julius Caesar, there is nothing that can stop that ship on tier 4.
Yeah, they're all
don't
pretty
know.
slow. So I think speed will be your ally. So Cesare is definitely beneficial. Plus, it's got a decent turning circle on it. So
Yeah, it's
Congo
pretty
might be
accurate.
good too.
Yeah, Congo, speed, Congo, yeah.
I mean, something I
Con-
also got to look into as well is secondaries too, because they're going to be taking more action than they usually are in games, since you're going to be in close combat with other ships. So, I mean, I'm not sure how exactly good these secondaries are on the tier 4 tech tree German battleship, but they could be
Koenig.
possibly potent.
Koenig tier 3. I can't remember.
Koenig, yeah.
Yeah.
Koenig's,
Koenig-
Well,
no, Koenig's tier 4.
Tier 4. Tier 4.
Yeah, Kaiser's
I
3, Koenig's 4.
Kaiser 3, Koenig's 4.
don't
Koenig is,
believe
I like that.
that secondaries at tier 4 is something you should rely on. I think that's the one tier that would struggle. I think
You'd
5
be
and up.
surprised, because the thing
South.
is with Koenig is, if you face up against a cruiser, Koenig has AP secondaries,
Yep.
And
which can overmatch Omaha.
Yeah. And can send him.
But who's bringing in Omaha to that fight? Come on.
I mean, it still can happen. If you happen to face a tier 4 cruiser with the 10mm bow, you overmatch it straight up.
Stay up. Overmatch. So, okay, let's go tier 5. Because tier 4, I think that we had a winner. Let's go tier 5. Tier 5 is a bit complicated because I see one ship as a DD main, T61, performing very well. And also, I can see a tech tree that it can perform very well. Aoba.
Oh yeah. Again, you're coming back to the cruisers.
Yeah,
Why?
especially if you have the Azure lane captain in the Alba to start fire.
Talga.
attack. Yeah.
I changed my answer for tier 4.
No.
What's that?
I want to go with Yahagi.
Mm.
Okay, sleeper choice.
Sleeper choice, yeah,
I'd say
but
it's a
Good
sleeper.
choice.
it's got an insane amount of torps. It's got a decent amount of armor-ish. And it's a really
The
slim profile,
problem
so-
is with its armor though is it has at tier 4 especially you don't want armor in a way. That's
No
because
armor is the
good
best
armor for
armor.
tier 4 good armor for tier
Right.
4 can still get means you're more likely to get destroyed by everything else.
Actually, hot take. Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does have that armored wraparound.
Armor bow, yeah.
Oh yes. Ooh. I usually don't like them, but honestly, in this situation, it actually might do well.
We'd
You
have the
guys
meta changes dependent on situation, right?
I
Yeah.
totally forgot about the tier 3. Going back to that, the French cruiser. That
Ooh,
performed very well
the-
during Arena when that was going
Yeah.
on, and I think that would be a
The
really good brawler
Trout.
because
Kentucky
doesn't it
Trout.
have what's it? Both stern and bow torpedoes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
that'll
it's
be a
got
really
very good
brawler.
firing angles. Got very good firing angles for the torps. They're not like stern bow like GL 101's is, but they're extremely good angles.
But
You see,
tier
funny
5.
enough, I mentioned it. You guys are coming back to those cruisers, though. Why? Most cruisers have got.
Rogue,
They've got
we're
the
not
sonar.
agreeing with you.
No. In a way, you
No, I mean-
are. Remember that most cruisers have got sonar.
Oh no, I'm
Most
still
cruisers have got
saying that
planes.
battleships will still be the most dominant, but cruisers have some interesting picks.
Yeah.
What is the benefit? The one benefit that a cruiser's got over a battleship?
Ability.
The possibility of
say-
torpedoes.
No. It's spotting capability.
The spotting, yes, and also.
Remember,
Yeah.
the moment the battleship moves in, sorry, Papa, the moment the
Okay.
battleship moves in, I've got my plane up. It's spotting you, buddy. I know where exactly you are, but you don't know where I am. So
and
I can
guiding. Yeah, I can.
guide myself into a favorable position. By the time I'm inside the cap, that battleship needs to confront me. Come find me.
Well,
What am I going to do? I've
Well-
got my sonar, buddy. I'm popping that. What are you going to do? You're going to come around the corner? You're going to try me? Oh, you're going to
considering
get
that it's
punished.
1v1s, I'm sure the maps are going to be much, much smaller, so I'm not sure how well concealment is going to play in that aspect.
Have you
That-
seen how
that we'll have to see.
caps are overlapping one each other? There was a map display on the general chat. I may find it
Robin
and I
shared
may
it.
show you. Yeah. Okay, Blip can share it. So you can see how the cycles are overlapping in a small place. So
Mhm.
both. So you can be in and out if you like, and you can play mouse and cat with your enemies. So it's something like drifting cycles around. So you have to be very careful what you are going.
Yes.
How you gonna put your ship and your strategy. So while we are in tier 5, I'm gonna give a big example. Let's say find me a premium German ship that is a cruiser and has a lot of armor in tier 5. Name it.
It doesn't have to be premium.
Make it premium because I'm gonna explain
The
after.
de Grasse.
Oh, you said
Okay.
I'm
German.
going for. I'm sorry.
German.
No, I don't want
German.
German.
Wait,
There
is
isn't
there-
a-
Yeah, I don't think there is a German
There
tier
is no
5.
no
No.
cruisers up
No.
until tier 6 at least have armor.
No.
Tier 5. Come on, guys.
I mean,
Come on,
there
guys.
is nothing with armor.
In tier 5.
Oh,
German?
Are you talking
what's
about
it?
Magnuson or not Magnuson?
no. Graf Spey.
Oh
Perhaps
yeah,
I-
yeah. So how you
Oh,
gonna
you
deal
mean
with-
one of the easiest ships to abuse because it's for a cruiser it's slow and unmaneuverable, doesn't have doesn't have the accurate guns,
20-second
and has poor
reload.
plating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Hey, it's got
It
torpedoes.
looks good on paper, but then in practice it's gonna get bullied.
It's
Maybe
good at
situational
long
language.
range.
You come up against the DD, you're gonna struggle with Graf Spey because you can be yelled
Yeah, you're gonna be yelled
so easily.
so easily.
Another one, Andrea Doria.
Andrea Doria, yeah.
Giulio Cesare, but at a tier higher, and you have SAP secondaries to deal with destroyers.
Yeah, the Italians will be. They're going to be interesting picks.
Of course, you have to have it, but
You have to have it, and also people are going to be new to facing them, so they're not going to know as much about. All right, how is this going to perform? What do I have to be prepared for? So it's a.
We are really plugging Italian battleships today.
You know what?
I am hyped. I'm sorry.
Robin,
I'm hyped too.
Robin will love me for saying this, but I love the French in this mode. It's going to be a wonderful mode to play with French,
Yeah.
especially the cruisers.
But the cruisers, they don't have citadels. You will over-penetrate them. You're gonna be frustrated with the friends. Yeah.
Their torpedo angles are wonderful. They've got the sporting capabilities. They've got the radars,
But your
sonars.
radar.
Sonars.
You have to. Your torps have to hit me before I dev strike you.
You know what I'm gonna say? 1v1 me.
Alright, let's go. Let's go.
hopefully one day we'll see. I mean, if we ever get training rooms, I don't know when that's going to come. I think a lot of people are expecting that to come next, and let's hope we do.
I think tier 6 is very interesting, so place your bets.
Ooh, 6.
A lot of
course, Scharnhorst, as it's already been brought up, good choice. It's got good secondaries, it's got torpedoes, good guns. So really good pick for battleship. Weimar, for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
The problem with that is Weimar's going to deal good damage, but when it comes to tier 6 and cruisers, they have to spot for themselves. Weimar doesn't do great in open water. I mean, yes, you can do agility builds, but with any cruiser, but it's not great at it like other ships are. But it's not tanky either, so it's in a weird middle ground.
Yeah,
so while its damage output will be high,
use cover and use your torpedoes.
But cover means that the other person's covered. So you have to hope you can close distance to get those torps off.
Well, that's where
your
your sonar comes into place, because you can spot
5 kilometers where you won't be able to hit. You'll see them.
Well, yeah,
but
you can see them, and then you
them.
can get yourself in positions and stuff like that.
But
Atlanta?
Sonar, you should know how to get.
Atlanta.
That's going to struggle against the battleship. And
Well, I don't know. It's got the torpedoes.
The torpedo
4.5
arcs are horrible too.
Horrible, and they're only 4.5 kilometers, and
Remember,
you only have 4 of them.
But I mean, granted,
the Atlanta.
I like the
The Atlanta is supposed to be played. The Atlanta is supposed to be played behind an island. Your cover is your island. The moment you come out of that cover to shoot your torpedoes, full broadside or charging at the guy, you're going to lose. You have to use the island and then kind of, back it up a bit and then shoot your torps. That's the best way to play that ship, in that scenario at least.
I see that an opinion that I would like to share. Demon 7 says Tallinn supremacy, and I agree with him.
Yes.
Just imagine in tier 6, with all those radars and the things around you. So I think that you can't be a DD player choosing a DD to go on tier 6 with those cruisers around you. So it's gonna be.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I think also the British battleships in general at 2.6 are going to be strong.
Yeah.
Of course, you have your Nelson, of course.
York. York could be amazing.
The Duke of York is going to be a monster. It's going to be a sleeper monster, I think.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Hood has got just HP for days. So.
And it's got the speed.
I think there is something out there that everyone has overlooked. I think I touched on it a bit. Vakulin. I think Vakulin will be a strong choice because it can take on cruisers. It's got a reload booster. It's got a lot of torps, decent reload on them as well, and it's fast as hell, so it can disengage if required. That's my pick, Vakulin.
HMS Pickle says Le Terrible. It's a good choice, but I don't think.
Same.
The consument I've got on my Vaculin is 5.4 kilometers.
And you've got go all out to use as well, which will bring you down to what, 4/4 maybe. That's strong for a YOLO.
Yeah, I'm running Felipe.
What about Blitzkavica on tier 6?
Ooh.
It's solid all-rounder, but doesn't excel anywhere, so you'd have to hope that you don't run into a dedicated gunboat or a cruiser. Well, yeah, cruiser as well, because you only have 6 torps, I believe, right? It's 2 triples.
Mm-hmm.
And they are slow.
And
They're not slow, but they're not fast. They're pretty average at everything.
People are saying Orkin. I see.
Orkin, okay. If you want to lose, go Orkin, sure.
It depends. If you're playing against a bad player that's in a destroyer, then yeah, Orkin's a great choice.
Yeah, if you're playing against a Japanese destroyer, sure, you're a great pick, but anything else, you're going to get dumpstered. You face a cruiser or a battleship, especially a battleship, you're done.
Yeah, you don't have any
You
If
stuff.
you
can't
had
kill
to
it
choose
fast enough.
something that was Orkan or similar, I would go with Gajimada.
Yeah, if you got to go with that, go with Gajimada. That's a way better pick in that scenario.
I'm gonna
You
stick, I'm gonna stick in my gimmick on the cruisers on the tech trees because we have to give solution also for the tech trees. What about Myoko?
Yep. I mean,
Miyoko,
Miyoko,
Any angles, bad.
fire angles bad,
Bad fire
Angles,
angles,
bad armor,
bad torp
but,
angles.
bad torp angles,
Oh, hell yeah.
good concealment.
Action bad, but
I wouldn't say her armor's horrible. Like, she's got the overpin syndrome, so
Yeah. What I mean is, at times, also the problem with Japanese cruisers at almost any, especially the heavies, their turrets aren't very well armored. They have like not,
Yeah.
right.
so they're the most likely to get knocked out.
I think a possible pick for me for tier 6 tech tree would be New Orleans. Since it has the same hull as Wichita, you can have it built where it has a similar rudder shift.
Talon is a tech tree ship, by
No.
the way.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm just saying for
Okay.
alternatives here. Not everybody
Okay,
has Talon,
alright.
man.
You should
But
though.
New Orleans, because it doesn't have the same armor as Wichita, but it has the ability to swing around like a Wichita and dodge
No.
shells if you know how to use it correctly.
No.
What do you mean, no?
If you play the New Orleans in a 1v1, you will get destroyed every single time. Fact
Yeah.
is, that thing can get pushed by anything because it doesn't have torpedoes to defend itself. If it's a destroyer, you've got a chance. But if it's a battleship, you got no chance. You will
also, why
die
not
every single time.
Indianapolis? Indianapolis just works
also.
better.
Yeah. You have
I mean,
the
yeah, if you're gonna go
radar-
with one of them, yeah. But
you have the
You
radar.
need torps, boys. You need torps. You need that engagement, that initial damage.
Tier 6, especially.
Another thing to note, we mentioned Gajimada. The turret is fixed. So you got a C-degree turret now.
360.
360 on the rear. Nice.
Mm-mm.
So,
That's
have we
yummy.
come to the conclusion that torpedoes are a necessity for cruisers?
Definitely.
Cruisers, yes.
I can tell you now, if you don't have torpedoes in a cruiser playing that mode, you will get dumpstered on. If you're playing against a
support ship in
destroyer,
a 1v1.
you need that. Honestly, guys, trust me when I say this. You'll kick yourself at the end of that first season and you didn't take a cruiser with torpedoes.
That's
Alright.
partially why I really wish Talon was at 7, because I really want a tough cruiser to get YOLO with. It's not just a German cruiser, but alright.
Rika should be fine. She'll
Yeah.
be, but yeah.
Yeah.
She won't have torpedoes, but I think the torpedo threat will be minimized with Rika
Yeah.
in particular.
Now, I've got a big question now. Let's say we've got 2 players fighting in a 1v1. He gets the cap first. He runs into me and rams me, and I die. I didn't get really a chance to shoot at this guy. He will win due to points, or is it then a draw?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Should be points.
Should be
If
points.
it's not points, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But it should be points. But remember now, if he's quicker than me, and he pushes me, and I can't kill him in the first salvo, and he rams me, then it's game over. He
And
wins.
if it's points, you also have to keep in mind that it does depend on what classes of ships you are and how long he's had the cap for.
Mm.
Different ships are worth different amounts of points.
Aha.
Yep.
Technical.
What you're saying
technical
is there's a
stuff.
potential exploit if it's in the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which I'm scared of.
You got to be really perfect timing to get it off. I'm sure though.
I'm pretty scared of that. I mean, because most battleships, if you're a cruiser, most battleships have a long reload, which means I have to spot him, at least give 1 or 2 torps on him, and then I just ram him. Because I was first in the cap. Yeah, good choice.
It's gonna work. Yeah, we're gonna see.
It's gonna work.
I mean,
Possible, but-
Well, the cap's neutral, so you'll both be even on points, even if you
Oh,
take a cut
okay.
and get in there first.
So it's gonna be a draw, something like a draw. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
we'll have
with
to see.
Zerlin Yukikaze coming out, would the ship and the commander make for an interesting build?
Probably. Because
Probably, yeah.
she'll still probably have, I'm assuming, Japanese torps.
Yeah, they're you're not going to get the screamer torps,
Yeah, you're not getting this.
Right.
Yeah, I would
but
figure.
they're still going to do a lot of damage. Yeah.
Yeah, so you still have torps that'll hit hard while having better gun performance than the normal Yukikaze. Tala, the screamer torps. So Yukikaze, the normal one, Tala has Shimakaze 8-kilometer torps. 8 of
Really?
them.
Really?
8 to 0.
Yeah, really fast. So, yeah. But
The 80 knots or the 76? I can't remember.
76, but you can get them to 80 with
Space Fishy.
Space Fisher, yeah.
Fishy.
You see, yeah, I'm looking into this now, even on a deeper end, and I see a problem being created here because we've got so many modes and different type of builds. And Blip, I know you know people are asking for this. I've got, let's say, Northern Scott on a couple of ships. Now I make a decision to change my ship for 1v1. I change my commander's loadout, and then I want to play standard again. Of course, I forgot to change it back. Or I play a different ship, and that loadout is still for 1v1. When are we going to get that function of being able to change our commander specific to the ship that it's applied to?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's something
I don't know.
that's going to become a problem at one end because we're going to be changing or making so many builds for specific type of modes or specific way that we want to play them. We kind of like to want to switch them. I think that's something the community will start picking up more, that people want that feature.
Now,
Yeah.
something that also came to mind to me is the most recent Japanese torpedo commander that came with the Halloween update. He might be an interesting choice.
Oh,
If you want to get
evil
an
man.
Akazuki and throw him on there, and you can get stupid speed torps, because I mean range really doesn't matter. You're going to be in close combat most likely anyway, and you can get those screamers off. I think, I mean my math is right, you can get like an extra 12 kilometers added to your torp speed with that commander.
Yes.
Which means that I think your torpedoes can go, 90 knots if you get it built correctly, or somewhere around that area.
I don't think you can do that with Aki. I think you could do that with Yadachi.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I would strongly advise not doing that with Aki anyway, because the torp firing angles are not good enough anyway. Plus, you only have 4. Or if you did it with
And 8 at
Yadachi,
With the
could be
booster.
scary.
But
Yes, but the boost has what, 5 seconds, 6 second reload?
yeah, so it's like you're not getting much out of it.
Yeah.
And
Shall we
all
go
that time
to
can be
tier
taken
7?
out here.
Well, we
Yeah,
only
7.
talked about destroyers and cruisers so far. We still didn't even talk about battleships
I
there.
mean, we said Scharnhorst, and that's good enough.
I mean, yeah, Scharnhorst, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
The British tier 6 are going to do well too.
yeah.
yeah,
The
they're
K-
very
well,
matchup dependent. though.
KGV wouldn't do so well, but the other 3 will do.
Yeah,
Or the 3 premiums will
Nelson,
be
I think
fine.
can see-
KGB would be the most versatile of them, though.
Leon.
I think Duke of York, even though the reload is slower, having the sonar and having the especially
Yeah.
the AP pin angles
Yeah.
will let you like dumpster cruisers much better than KGV.
Would agree.
And the AP.
Yeah,
And
Though
Nelson,
the-
with its big HE,
Shield.
can just take out destroyers in one salvo. So before the
If
torps
the
even
ch-
hit you, I mean, if they all
Oh.
hit, you can just delete them.
Demon,
And-
thank you for mentioning that.
Good yellow.
We recently did get a buff to a certain Russian destroyer that happens to be at tier 6.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Minsk.
Minsk. We forgot about Minsk, which is
Oh yeah.
and Nevny at 5. Those two will be like those will also be like I'd say sleeper picks.
Well,
Those
also
will be
the,
pretty damn good.
What, the tier 6 Japanese gunboat? Didn't that one get a buff too to its
Hatsuharu at 5 and Shiotsuyu at 6 have both gotten buffed.
Yeah. And with AL Yukikaze, Commander.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Take the 2 torp boosters, the reload boosters as well. Don't go smoke. No smoke. You don't need smoke.
Alright, so I think that covers 6. We ready for 7?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna take a while. 7 is where. Wow.
We got a lot to choose from.
So tier 6.
Yudachi, I think, is not the play.
No.
Yachi's out. It can't.
It can be played if you are going to be a very risky player and set up a gunboat because it has a lot of alpha potential. The alpha damage.
Yeah,
Does it really
But
does?
you also
Hi.
have Lo Yang that's premium that has, sonar. You can, if you get into a DD fight, you can outspot the other destroyer and spot them through islands a lot
Not-
further.
Not if that destroyer is a Xian Yang.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's Yan
Well,
Yang.
yeah, if it's
Great
got
option.
radar.
Well,
Which-
the problem with Sen Yang is if you. It's good. It would be alright pick against a destroyer, or not destroyer, gun wise against destroyer and torp wise against cruisers and battleships. Its torps won't affect destroyers, so you have to win the gunfight. You don't even have a chance of maybe the lucky torp.
But I mean, it's a Fletcher.
That's why you have
class,
good
right?
guns.
It's a Fletcher missing a gun though. So
That's
while
still
it's still
good.
good,
Yeah, it's
you
still
you're more limited. What I mean is you don't even have the threat of torps. You can just be pushed.
Have you,
Get
have you gone
good.
up against the Xian Yang?
Yeah, with my lightning, which will
It
usually
hurts.
win. Yeah, but
Even though it's
There
got
are
that one
better
left gun, it
ships in
still
it.
slaps.
there are still ships that will be better picks than it though.
Agree.
Mains.
Actually, sleeper destroyer pick would be Udaloy.
Yes, I
Yep.
do like me my
You
Udaloy.
have reasonable gun power, and you have 15 torpedoes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And what I actually like that
Yeah.
it has the one middle and 2 on each side. I like that kind of setup with destroyers because it means you at least have let's say you send 2 sets out, you still have the reserve there if you need it.
And in circles, tough though.
Yeah.
especially close quarters. I think
Yeah, it'd
a
be really
sleeper
hard to
pick,
maneuver it
too,
well.
might be ZF6. I've been having some pretty
That's
good
not
success.
a sleeper. That's not a
What do you
sleeper
mean it's not
pick.
a
Come on.
sleeper?
It's clearly one of the best destroyers in the game. You've got French torps with German gunpowder, German 128s
You really don't
gunpowder.
see that many ZF6 out and about, though.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have that
you
much
don't
utility.
see it a
That's
lot,
the thing.
but it doesn't have a ton
Yeah.
of utility. But you have amazing guns with the improved HE pen, great improved AP ricochet angles, and French torps.
Okay, we can
Because-
outline it as unsuspecting then. not say
Unsuspecting,
sleep,
Because
but I
I've
would.
got
suspect.
mine built up. Like I have my
Uncommon.
T61 with Blue Fiora. So I have the fast reloading torps with
No.
torp booster on there.
No.
What do I mean no?
No.
Torpedoes are going to be game. Because
Okay.
if you're going
Yeah.
up against a
You go
destroyer,
yellow
you
build,
just go and
I'll-
pop your reload booster and you just go and beat the crap out of them with your guns and fire your torps
Yeah.
out there at them.
But my guns will kill you faster with the same.
Well, if you can catch me, use island cover, all that fun stuff.
Oh, this is actually a challenge now. You guys are setting it up for yourselves to sync drop ranked. So ZF6 versus ZF6. Let's see what happens. Stream it.
I bet.
Anyway, I don't agree with ZF6. Even though I really like it, I don't agree with it. If it was going to be a destroyer, have to be something that has a lot more versatility, let's say.
So lightning.
Is it? I wasn't necessarily going to say lightning. I was going to say Z23.
Yeah.
Because
No,
it
I'm
is
sorry, I can't.
down the middle of the line, but it's got really hard-hitting guns. Its torps are really quite good, and if you were using blue,
I mean,
think
good hitting
that it'd
AP,
be-
but the HE is very mediocre.
but it knocks out mods.
You have that sonar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
was about to bring
sonar.
that up, the
Sonar.
sonar.
That's why I want to kind of say, don't forget about the lightning.
That's what I'm saying. Like Lightning just does what Z23 does better.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I know that the Lightning will be the most used. I think that that's going to be the most used DD in this format. But I also think that I wouldn't play any of those because guess what's there? Fantastic.
Lo Yang.
So,
Hello, Yang.
Yeah.
You can't play Fantastic in that.
You
can.
Just YOLO.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
that
Speaking
you can
of-
do.
Speaking of, I think I'll know what my destroyer pick will be because it'll be fun. YOLO Emilio.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Let's
not
go. Let's
Yeah, but when you get outspotted and you're in your smirk YOLOing people.
Well, that's
Yeah.
when you just
Well,
go
you
and
wanna-
switch your concealment mod
best
to
part.
RGA, and then you'll
Exactly.
be on the same par, or
See?
even better.
See? I don't need sonar. I have RGA. There
Exactly.
we
You go and throw RGA on there. You're like, I'm already gonna get spotted anyway. I mean, especially going up against a battleship, they're most likely, well, they probably are running RGA anyway. So at least you'll be on the same par as
go.
them.
You'll be equal.
So moving away from destroyers. Don't
Yeah.
shoot me here. August von Parsifal.
No carriers
come
though.
Is it no carriers?
I don't
No
think there's
carriers.
carriers.
No carriers.
Thank you. No
Oh,
carries.
sad.
If
Yay.
carriers were
However, that would be
available,
amazing.
that'd be interesting.
Also,
It'd be interesting.
Von
I might
Parsifal-
actually take out Vesser if they were carriers because Vesser's secondaries are really fun.
but the
Oh, yeah,
secondaries on the
it's-
Parsifal are great, but would still get outbeaten by the Lexingtons because of the fire chance
Mm.
every single time.
Yeah, but
you
fire,
wouldn't-
you have a
you would be
1
running
minute
away.
damage con.
This is it. You're never
Carrier's
gonna pen a
damage con lasts
Lexington.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be getting in a secondary fight if you were playing Parsifal. You'd just
However,
be
we
trying to torpedo somebody to death.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
especially
we,
going
we
against.
don't need to get into this conversation yet.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway,
we don't need to
yeah.
get into theoretical.
irrelevant.
Stupid
so it
for
doesn't-
mentioning it.
That's alright. It would be interesting though. It would be interesting.
Pitch it as an
Uh,
idea in the future, maybe. Thoughts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, we'll talk about carriers
Also,
when we get
still-
carriers in a ranked
still
game
going
mode.
away from destroyers though. Move up to the next size up, cruisers.
Hmm.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh is gonna be. I like Edinburgh, and I think it can do well. The problem is
Angle stuffer.
It's
Torp
slow.
Angle Stuffer. It's not that fast, and if you get again, that's one of those ships that if you screw up, it gets punished.
Mm-hmm.
My pick would be Hipper.
I like that.
Hipper and Mains are good. Mains as well.
Mine's
Yeah.
his
I think
weakness
Lance
is that
is-
if it runs into a battleship, it doesn't have the plating.
But that's how the no armor is the best armor works in. You just show your broadside, they overpin
yes.
you, and then you
You-
get
the
closer.
unfortunate part is that it's a German with not great armor,
It's mine's is huge.
and yes, it's a Hipper with poor armor, so it's huge.
Just have
And
them
also,
overpin you.
HE absolutely
Yeah, well,
demolishes
well, just hope
everything
they
you
don't
have.
fire HE at you.
Yeah, everyone sees. Oh, German.
Just
HE.
hope in a game of HE
Well,
they
listen,
don't fire
we're
HE.
talking about people that actually, are invested into the game a bit more. I mean, how many people actually fire HE at German? Like when you're playing
Everybody
German
when
cruiser?
I'm in my Hipper. My God.
Well, it's because you're number 81. That's why.
Pretty much, yeah. I get that.
Any Richelieu ever that shot at a German cruiser has fired HE at some point.
Every time.
Thinking of it, as
But
I don't
Doesn't
think
have
Wizards
to
wants to
say
play
Azuma.
that.
Hang on, hang on.
Sniper.
Yeah.
but hang on, Azuma has monster HP. It can clap
Mhm.
destroyers whenever it spots them, and
Whoa.
and it can deal with other cruisers on a 1v1.
And battleships.
Yeah,
I'm starting to think you're crazy
And-
now, Blood.
No, no, no.
honestly, because
And-
I just don't.
the new Azuma commander is going to make it where the AP is more functional. So
I like the way that you keep linking it to the update. We should start doing that more.
Is that why you want
my
to get
brain has
on?
been on
You
all
want
day,
to
I'm sorry,
plug?
but
Here's the thing,
I'm
though.
not advertising, I swear.
You have to hit with the Zuma. You have to hit.
You're gonna be close enough. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, you're gonna be super close. Well, I mean, there is that weird thing that happens when you go and aim at the waterline of a ship, and all your shells end up short right in front of it for some reason.
Yes, almost every time. And then when you aim up a little bit, you go over the hull. That's great.
Yeah,
No.
the main thing that I think that would hurt a Zuma is just the turret traverse.
Turtle's gonna hurt it.
Yeah,
Yep.
because especially
really
at close
does hurt
range, you won't be able to keep
And
up with a fast ship. Or
Its armor thicknesses are good, but its citadel is weird.
Okay.
also,
So
it's
I
lack
know-
of torpedoes.
I know when I
But
say
it's
this,
not a big problem.
Thatch is going to be like, yes, Rogue, thank you very much for coming up for the Zuma. If there was an ability to remove all battleships from the game, and you were left to choose the best cruiser out of any cruisers to pick,
Riga.
gun-wise, damage-wise, everything-wise, it'd be the Azuma.
Ultima.
No.
It's the Azuma.
What about
That
like-
thing is,
like-
it's comparable to a battleship.
Oh, yeah,
On
so is
paper.
Siegfried.
On paper.
No, not Siegfried. I love the Siegfried, but no, it's not.
No. Its
Yeah, it's
belt
not.
armor is phenomenal.
No.
Does anyone remember how Number said, "Oh, the Gneisenau is going to be the pick at tier 6"? Oh, it
Well,
didn't
like,
say
I'm
that
sorry,
because
yeah.
he said Scharnhorst, and the Siegfried is very
Siegfried's
similar
just-
to that, isn't
yeah.
it?
Siegfried's just Gneisenau at tier 7.
I can contest that I played with the Azuma a while back, and facing a GK, I obliterated that at a GK.
Well, okay, but it's a GK.
It's a GK. It's still a legendary ship with a lot more guns than I have.
T7 plus. It's like a tier
It's
7.
not a bad ship. Don't underestimate it. That's
It's
all
not
I'm saying.
bad. It's just
It's very good.
it's GK though.
Getting ahead of ourselves.
Anyway,
I know at
a
least
target.
at least Blip will stand behind me.
also for those saying Baltimore or Wichita in these,
Yeah, I'd have to disagree. As much as I love the
not
ships
good
in
enough
standard,
gun power.
they're not good for 1v1 because of
You
just their
can't
lack of
stop a
torpedoes.
destroyer fast enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to stop a destroyer fast enough. American light cruisers, possibly, like Cleveland and the upcoming AL Montpelier.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be
Possibly.
able to take on a battleship.
But
Well,
then you
maybe
face
they
a
would, but they get
battleship.
overpinned all the time.
The one nobody's mentioned is Otago.
I just brought up Otago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Otago, I love Otago. It can be it is very weird. It is surprisingly tanky and surprisingly squishy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Just
torpedo
depends on where
angles.
Torpedo wise, that thing, ooh.
The
Have
bad
to
thing
give
though,
up all of your broadside to get all of your torps away, though. That's the
That's
key.
All of
thing.
them, yeah, but you don't need to. Wiggle
Yes.
towards, wiggle, send the right side, wiggle to the other side, send the left.
Mm-hmm.
And
If they don't hit-
forget that you have access to the fast torpedoes.
Yes, which nobody uses.
yeah, no
but
one
you
will
go
ever
and throw
use
on
them because they're
screamers
less
in
useful.
1v1.
They're not
And
even
you've got space
screamers.
fishing.
They're not even
Yeah, but they're not.
screamers.
They're not that fast.
hang on, let me look. I'll
You-
let you
you'll just
know.
have to
Like
build your
compared to
commander
other
differently.
screamers.
A different
Yeah,
game
but at
mode's
that
gonna
point, like
require
you're
different
crippling the
builds.
rest of the ship, though. You gotta hope your torps work.
Well, I mean, that's mainly what you're going to be relying off of if you're going against a battleship. Your guns aren't going to kill it fast enough before it kills you.
Okay, I got the stats for you, and I play Otago, I'm a Otago. If I put the screamers on, those babies are running at 76 knots, baby.
Zoom in. And that's without
Maybe.
Space Fishy on, right?
I don't have space for you. I don't think I have. Let me have a look.
So
Hey,
you
you
can
can
probably
get up
get
to
in the 80 knots. I mean, it's good destroyer
Mm-hmm.
defense, and good cruiser defense, and good battleship defense.
I don't have issue.
At range, your guns are going to be good because they're hard hitting. Most likely set
Yeah, but
fires
Japanese
to
cruisers
knock
don't
stuff
have
out.
the greatest dispersion, though.
But I'd
Well-
still pick an Odin.
Odin.
Oh yeah, I think Odin would be a solid choice because it's just a tier 7 Scharnhorst.
Which
with
is
sonar.
why the next ship I'll bring
Yeah.
up, Blip, you'll be happy because it's somewhat relevant. Brandenburg.
Yes.
I don't think I'd actually take Brandenburg.
I think it'd be an interesting pick, at least if you're
Yeah,
facing
it'll
battleships
work.
or cruisers. I think it's a good pick against battleships and cruisers. You face
Yeah.
a destroyer.
Yeah,
Good
lack
luck.
of sonar is the
I'd rather
problem.
I'd rather have the Odin in this case.
I'd rather have Odin in most cases, but
Mm.
for the cases that Brandenburg excels in,
Yeah.
Odin as a consideration is a very good pick because you can get into places quickly, you can turn out quite quickly, and the top firing angles from the back are amazing.
yeah,
Basically touching each other. So if you're in a kiting position versus any ship, you're going to be able to torp them whilst preserving your HP because it is actually a really tanky ship as well. The only thing that you got to consider is turrets are going to get knocked out relatively quickly, potentially torp tubes as well, and that. But other than that, it is solid because you can push, you can kite, you can do damage, and you can pretty much take on all classes as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
secondary build with Zerlane Scharnhorst and have that extra torpedo speed and range might be a way to go.
You see,
would
if you guys sum up what all you're talking about, the ship that's going to win this engagement is the one with the most utility.
Pretty much, the most ability
Usually.
to deal with anything else.
Exactly. The all-around ship, the ship that you can use for any battle, that'll be the one that will excel.
and that's why I think it's the Odin.
Odin is a good choice. I think so too.
As
Thanks.
much as I love the Kansas, I wouldn't take the Kansas.
No.
Ooh,
I wouldn't-
yeah,
I would take a Massa.
Massachusetts will be good.
Yeah.
It's quick, maneuverable, has secondaries,
Well, it's got
American
secondaries
guns.
that are very accurate.
accurate secondaries with good range, and American main guns.
But we gotta be thinking about close quarters type deal. I mean, that makes the secondaries even better, but you're also a big old ship.
Yes, but it's
You're still
That's
slow.
still agile, very agile.
Massa's the same size as Baltimore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might be a
and
bit thicker, but
A bit
lengthwise, same.
What do we
about
think
the-
about?
Roma.
Sorry, Papa, you go.
Okay, what about Roma? Because it is a flankers. It's a flanker. It is quick.
Guns
I'd
are
say
fragile,
fact
which is
that
the
it
other
doesn't
problem I have with
SAP
Odin.
secondaries is what kind of
Yeah,
knocks it out.
doesn't have it doesn't have its secondaries are
be-
lackluster. The main
You're
guns
going
are
to be too
lackluster.
close. You're going to be too close for Roma. You're just going
Yeah.
to overpen everything.
Yep.
There you go. I just want to outline my vivid option. I will definitely be picking Odin, I would have thought. But I think that a really strong pick, even though it doesn't really have a great deal of utility, it definitely excels in agility. It definitely excels in ability to actually inflict a large amount of damage instantly and to be stealthy as well. Amalfi. I think that could be a strong pick.
You need to be a very good player to play the Amalfi.
And I am.
And again, that's a ship that if you mess up,
Yeah, then I can just say Ochakov.
like basically,
I
if
agree.
I pop around the corner in a spot you weren't expecting,
Yeah, I'd say Ochakov is a possibility.
Ochakov, because of lack of armor, improved HE pen,
You have
and because
torpedoes
it's a
to deal
Russian
with
premium, it
close-up
has a kilometer
threats.
torps. It has
You
8k
have
torps
good
because it's Russian
radar.
premium.
You have sonar, so you can deal with, cruisers. I mean, when I play Wichita, the only ship cruiser-wise that scares me is Ochakov because it's HE is just that opponent to me, and it can just get it out that fast. And it also has torpedoes, so I can't get in close with it because it'll just wreck me in that situation. I mean, as long as you're not pointing straight onto a battleship and they, overmatch you, you're most likely going to get overpinned anyway. So you don't even have to be in the cap, you can be at range.
What about Albemarle or Bagration then?
Can't
Albemarle?
Migration, no.
Migration, no. Its guns are good, torps are good, armor can be iffy, and its firing angles in the guns are not great.
It's
So you're only going to be using the
specialized in
front.
long range.
Yeah, it's a more specialized ship. And Albemarle, that's just I write that off anytime I see it.
Oh, I do as well. But I've started playing it a bit more as I have the migration as well, finding different ways to play things that I wasn't necessarily expecting, and I think that Albemarle could be a solid choice because it has got the only thing that is a problem for it is the way it slows down for me, and in some cases speeds up. But it's got decent tops, it's got great heal, it's got good angling potential, got the ability to push people. But again, top angles are a bit sus.
I mean, it doesn't really. It has a step deck citadel, so you're actually depending on where you're hit. That's much worse off than almost any other citadel at the tier. You don't have the bow plating. It's 25. So if you face a battleship, good luck. If you face a heavy cruiser with good pen, good luck.
But can bounce the Yamato shells. Tell me I'm wrong, Blip.
So every cruiser in the game, practically, can bounce Yamato shells. If it has more than 32 millimeter plating anywhere.
Nice rebuttal.
I can take Omaha and bounce a Yama shell.
Okay, do.
Emil Vertan cannot, and Isano cannot.
Okay.
Just like a Starmer on a Emil Vertan is 20 millimeters.
Oh yeah, Emil, that's right.
Ooh.
Real.
Look at the chat, boys. Trash can.
Trash can? Trash can.
And
Like
maneuverable enough.
it's a Kappa. It's a Kappa at tier 7.
Yeah, it's got good guns, good torps, can have heal if you pick it.
Like
Which
Tashkent,
in this situation, you'd go heal.
like Tashkent, like Kappa, can just bully an Ochakov.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it.
Do you think, guys, it's time to open up the lines for the community?
Oh yeah.
We had enough. Because we have
I
also
want to mention one
here,
more
so-
thing.
Yeah.
Who
And-
who dares insult Champaggers? It'll be a great pick.
Hmm.
I'm calling it.
My dear
Will
friend.
not be.
It will be.
I'm looking forward to coming up against
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, me too.
I am going to have so much fun these ranked seasons.
It's gonna be special. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if the community has any questions. I'm gonna kill the bot now, and I'm gonna stop the recording. I think that
Want me
we
to
have enough
stop streaming?
material. Yeah, we have enough material to produce. So let's see if community has. some
Before we
questions
end
for
the whole thing, at least for the people that are listening, we could thank you for tuning in.
But we're not ending the
Stream.
We're just the bot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give me a minute to kill the bot. I will give
Yeah,
it the okay to proceed. Please explain how people gonna ask for questions. They're gonna raise their hands.
We got the first one already. It's Mazur.